it's Annie from the Youth Room at the BB Library, and thank you so much for joining me for another virtual story time today. We'll enjoy some stories together, we'll sing a couple of songs, and we'll do a craft together as well. This week, I've been thinking a lot about dinosaurs, which are actually my sister's favorite animal. So today I wanted to share some of my favorite dinosaur stories with you. And they're both pretty silly, which is why I like them. So the first one I wanted to share with you today is called Dino Snores. And this one is pretty silly. It's all about some dinosaurs going to sleep. And they are so loud and noisy when they snore. And we'll get to see what happens to the world around them while they're making all that racket while they're asleep. And Dino Snores was written by Kelly DiPucchio, and the pictures were done by Goembel. And this is read with permission from HarperCollins Children's Books. And the other dinosaur story I would love to share with you today is called Romeosaurus and Juliet Rex. And this is a really silly take on the romantic story Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. But this version is pretty silly, and it's going to have dinosaurs as well. And Romeosaurus and Juliet Rex was written by Mo O'Hara, and the illustrations were done by Andrew Joyner. And this one is also read with permission from HarperCollins Children's Publishers. So, since we're reading all about these silly dinosaurs today, I thought for our craft we could make our own dinosaurs. And we're actually going to do that by using paper plates and construction paper. So to make your paper plate dinosaur, you're just going to need a couple of things. You will need a paper plate, of course. You're also going to need some construction paper. And if you don't have colorful construction paper like this, you can always use white printer paper and color it in with markers, crayons, colored pencils. You can even use paint if you want as well. There's lots of different options. So you will want to make sure to have some crayons, markers, colored pencils, or paints on hand and ready to use to make your dino nice and colorful. You're also going to need a pair of scissors. And last but not least, you are going to need some tape and or some glue. Tape is really great, but sometimes you might need a little bit of glue for some of these as well. And we'll go over how to do our paper plate dinosaur craft at the end of our story time after we've read our stories and sung a couple of songs together. So before we get started with our stories, how about we start by singing our song Hello Friends to say hello to each other. And to sing this one, we're going to use a little American Sign Language. So I'll show you the different signs that we need to help us sign this in American Sign Language. Our first sign that we need is hello. And I'm going to do a little salute. Hello. Our next sign we need is friends. So I'm going to take my two pointer fingers and I'm going to go crisscross to sign friends. Crisscross. Friends. It's time. I point to my wrist and give it a little tap for time. To say, I point to my lips for say. Hello. And salute again. Let's do it all together. Ready? Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Great job! So before we start with our stories, why don't we wake up a couple of our body parts too? Let's start by waking up our hands, and how about we wake them up with a couple of claps? Ready? We wake up our hands with a clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 we wake up our hands with a clap, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. We wake up our wrists with a shake, 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 shake. We wake up our wrists with a shake, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. We wake up our knees, get them up nice and high, with a march, 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 march. We wake up our knees with a march, 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 and we wiggle our waggles away. One big one to get all those wiggles out. Ready? Phew! Well, I feel nice and awake and all of my wiggles are out. So let's go ahead and jump right into our first story for today. So this one is Dino Snores. So these sleepy dinosaurs are making quite a racket. So we'll see what happens when they're sleeping and making all of those sounds. Dino Snores by Kelly DiPucchio, and the pictures were done by Goembel. On a supercontinent many million years ago, dinosaurs prepared for sleep on cozy lava flows. They bathed and brushed and fluffed their ferns around the dino site, then laid their horns and spikes to rest and kissed their eggs goodnight. Reptilian birds and dragonflies drifted through the skies, while prehistoric crickets sang Jurassic lullabies. Soon the peaceful world was rocked, shaken to its shores. From snouts of sleeping dinosaurs boomed mammoth Dino Snores. They're snoring pretty loudly. What do you think's going to happen if they're snoring so loud? Let's find out. There were bronto booms, tricera cries, raptor rumbles, stego sighs, pronto grunts, diplo hoots, allo snorts, and tyranno toots. While dinos slept, winged lizards leapt, and mammals ran to hide. Palm trees quivered, hot springs shivered, bugs were petrified. Still sleepy rumbling kept on coming from that dino chorus, whilst whistles, grunts, and snorts galore sprang from every saurus. They're fast asleep, but everyone else is pretty awake. Their nasal breeze stirred up the seas and windstorms full of sand. Swamps and rivers sloshed about, tossed creatures onto land. They're even causing a ruckus for the sea creatures with their snoring. Boom, cry, grumble, sigh, grunt, hoot, snort, toot. That rumpus triggered tremors and a powerful earthquake. The shaking scared amphibians and drove them from the lake. They're all confused and running around. They don't know what's causing all that noise. Dino drools made swimming pools and gooey, slick mudslides. Sharks and ancient squids surfed slimy spit riptides. Look at all that drool. Gross. Deep grumbles made rocks tumble, and loud Cretaceous booms. Chains of sleeping mountaintops awoke in fiery plumes. What's that? Looks like they set off a volcano with all that noise. After several million nights like this of snoring from the pit, the shaken supercontinent began to crack and split. Uh-oh, what will happen. The dinos waved goodbye to friends and drifted off to sea. As for the rest, you may have guessed. It's ancient history. That was a pretty silly story about those very loud, sleeping dinosaurs, huh? Well, before we read our next story, I need to get some of my wiggles out. Do you want to get some wiggles out with me? I'm going to wiggle my fingers a little bit. Can you wiggle your fingers? Oh, what about your toes? Can you wiggle your toes? And, how about your shoulders? Can you give your shoulders a little wiggle? And what about your nose? I'm going to try wiggling my nose. Can you wiggle yours? Let's try them all together. Ready? I wiggle my fingers. I wiggle my toes. I wiggle my shoulders. And I wiggle my nose. Phew! Now all the wiggles are out of me, and I'm as still can be. And I am ready for our next silly dinosaur story. So our next one is Romeosaurus and Juliet Rex. And this story was written by Mo O'Hara, and the pictures were drawn by Andrew Joyner. Ne'er a tale made a child laugh more than Juliet Rex and her Romeosaur. Once upon a time, 150 million years ago, two families, both alike in lizardness, lived in the swampland of Verona. Romeosaurus's family were herbivores. Yay! Ferns for dinner! Yay! So those herbivores, they only eat plants. Juliet Rex's family were carnivores. So they only eat meat. Yay! Herbivores for dinner! Yay! Uh-oh, I don't know if the herbivores like that too much. You can see why the families didn't get along. One day, Juliet Rex was stomping through the swampland on her way to the dinosaur ball. "Do my arms look small in this?" she asked her nanny, Nursedactyl. "Of course, dear," Nursedactyl answered. Meanwhile, Romeosaurus was clomping along with his friend Mercutiotops on his way to crash the ball. Now, usually when a Stegosaurus and a Triceratops crash a ball, you would know it. But this time they went in disguise because it was a masked ball for carnivores only. So those herbivores are sneaking in to the carnivore ball. The carnivores really knew how to throw a party, and Juliet Rex was waving her tiny arms in the air like she just didn't care when she spotted a dinosaur who she had never seen before. He swished his tail at her to say hello. She thumped her tail back to say, "I might be casually waving hi, or I might just be swatting a prehistoric bug. Your call." They're dancing and having a good time. And now they're looking at each other. What do you think they're thinking about? What will happen now? Let's see. Romeosaurus went over, and the two dinos danced. They giggled, they talked, they played, and they started to become friends. "Do you want to get something to eat?" Juliet Rex asked as she led Romeosaurus over to the buffet. And at the buffet, Aunt Gladys! Romeo gasped. Uh-oh. Romeosaurus rushed to help Aunt Gladys off the buffet table and take the apple out of her mouth. Wait, you're an herbivore? Juliet Rex asked, taking off Romeosaurus's mask. And you're a carnivore. Just then, a fight broke out at the dinosaur ball. Apparently, Mercutiotops had poked Juliet Rex's cousin, Tybalt Rex, with his horns while dancing. You'd better go, Juliet Rex said, sneaking Romeosaurus out during the commotion. Will I see you again? Romeosaurus looked back and smiled. That night, Juliet Rex looked out from her cliff-top balcony. Romeosaurus, Romeosaurus, wherefore art thou, Romeosaurus? Psst! Down here, Romeosaurus answered. Stegosauruses aren't really good at climbing. It's the tail, really, and the weight and the complete lack of claws to grip anything. And there's a stone ramp over there, Juliet Rex interrupted. Oh, thanks. Once again, they giggled and played and talked and laughed, and they became true friends. My family would never want me to be friends with you, Juliet Rex said. I mean, I could never invite you over for dinner. You would be the main course. My family wouldn't like it either. Especially Aunt Gladys, Romeosaurus said, sighing. I wonder what we can do, Juliet Rex wondered. What do you think they can do to still be friends, even though their families are so different? When Nursedactyl woke the next morning, she found that Juliet Rex's bed had not been slept in, and she found a note. A herbivore is my true friend, so off I go to Swampland's End. Nursedactyl flew down to the herbivore's home and tapped her talon on the door. Aunt Gladys answered. Ah! She screamed, then fainted. Mercutiotops pulled Aunt Gladys out of the way. Nursedactyl showed him Juliet Rex's note, and he showed her the note Romeosaurus had left for him. You have always been a friend to me, but a carnivore has set my heart free. Nursedactyl made a face. They're not very good at poetry, but they do seem to care a lot about each other, even though they're so different. They have bad poetry in common, I guess, Mercutiotops added. We need to find them. They're headed for the tar pits, and that's dangerous for any dinosaur, herbivore or carnivore. Nursedactyl flapped her wings. And carried Mercutiotops above the swampland until they reached the tar pits. They could see some things floating on the tar. It was Romeosaurus's feathered hat and Juliet Rex's backpack. Uh-oh. We're too late, shrieked Nursedactyl. We should have let them be friends, Mercutiotops cried. You're right, Nursedactyl sobbed. Then maybe they'd both still be here. But we are here, Juliet Rex said as she and Romeosaurus came out from behind a boulder. Phew, they are safe after all. My little dino, Nursedactyl gathered Juliet Rex in for a wingy hug. Mercutiotops sputtered, But your hat, the backpack. We were just was looking for a big stick to fish them out with when you both showed up, Romeosaurus said. So, can we be friends? Juliet Rex asked. And just to be clear, carnivore friends don't eat other friends, right? Romeosaurus added. I could never eat a true friend of my darling Juliet Rex, Nursedactyl said. Then she whispered to Romeosaurus, but if you break her heart, you're in a sandwich by lunchtime. Got it? So it's a deal. Carnivores and herbivores will be friends, Mercutiotop said. And they all shook hands on it. Well, except for Juliet Rex, as hers wouldn't reach. But she nodded in agreement. And they lived happily ever after. Until... Uh-oh! So that's a pretty silly story about Romeosaurus and Juliet Rex, but they still get to become friends in the end, even though they're pretty different, and that's what's important, right? So how about we sing a couple of songs together before we do our craft for today? The first song I wanted to share with you, I've done this song before where it's called Put Your Hands Up High, and I've done it before where we move our arms around and our bodies and we sort of become ducks with the different motions and sounds that we do. But this time I'm going to change it a little bit and we'll be a little more like dinosaurs. So you'll want to listen to my words and follow along with my actions. Ready? Let's try it. Put your hands up high, put your hands down low, put your hands in the middle and wiggle just so. Make your hands like claws, stomp your feet on the floor, and open your mouth and give a big roar. Let's try it again, ready? Put your hands up high, put your hands down low, put your hands in the middle and wiggle just so. Make your hands like claws, stomp your feet on the floor, and open your mouth and give a big roar. Great job! Now, how about we do one where we get to use our hands a little bit? Let's do open, shut them with our hands. Ready? And we'll do this 2 times. Open, shut them, open, shut them, give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them, put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them, right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide, your little mouth, but do not let them in. One more time, ready? Open, shut them, open, shut them, give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them, put them in your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, crawl them, creep them, crawl them, right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide, your little mouth, but do not let them in. Great job! Now, I have another dinosaur song that I wanted to share with you. And this one, it's called the Dino Ditty, but it goes to the song of a tune, Do-a-ditty. Maybe you've heard of that before. It goes, do-a-ditty, ditty, dum, ditty, do. But we're going to change the words a little bit. So we're going to sing, Dino ditty, ditty, dum, ditty, do. Can you sing that with me? Let's try it. Dino ditty, ditty, dum, ditty, do. Dino ditty, ditty, dum, ditty, do. Let's do it one more time, ready? Dino ditty, ditty, dum, ditty, do. Dino ditty, ditty, dum, ditty, do. So you can sing that part along with me. And I'm going to sing this 2 times through. And we're going to sing a song about a dinosaur walking around and just looking for something to eat. Ready? So let's try our chorus again together and we'll jump right into the song. Ready? Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. A hungry dino walking down the street singing Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. She's looking for something good to eat singing Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. She's big, she's strong, won't be hungry for long. Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. A hungry dino walking down the street singing Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. She's looking for something good to eat singing Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. She's big, she's strong, won't be hungry for long. Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. One more time. Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. Dino ditty ditty dum ditty do. Great job! That's a catchy little song about dinosaurs, huh? Well, let's sing one more song together and then we will do our dino craft together. And our last song that we'll sing together today is Goodbye, Friends. So this is really similar to the song we sang at the beginning, Hello, Friends. But this time, instead of saying hello, we're going to say goodbye. And we're going to use our American Sign Language to help us sing this again. So I'll go over the different signs that we're going to use for goodbye, friends. So the first one that we need is goodbye. And I'm just going to give my hand a little wave. Goodbye. Friends, I take my pointer fingers and I go crisscross, tap, tap. Friends. It's time. I tap my wrist for time. To say, point to my lips for say. Goodbye. And I give a little wave for goodbye. Ready? Let's sing together. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for singing those fun songs with me. How about we make a craft together now? So today we're making our paper plate dinosaurs, and we are going to need a paper plate, of course. We're going to need some construction paper. We are going to need some things to color with, like crayons, markers, colored pencils. You can even use paints if you have those at home, or watercolors. We're going to need a pair of scissors, and we are going to need some tape and or some glue. I held those up in the wrong order. Tape and glue. So to make our paper plate dinosaur, we're going to start out with our paper plate, and we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut the paper plate in half. So it's going to look like this. And then you're going to go ahead and color in your paper plate however you want to. I decided to use crayons to color mine in red, and then I cut out some pieces of construction paper in different shapes there, and I pasted them all around. So, and I did this on the back side of the paper plate, but you can kind of do it on either. I like to do mine on the back. So we'll color those in, and then we need to give our dinosaur a head, a tail, and some feet. So you can use any color construction paper you like, and we're just going to cut out some different shapes. First, we're going to cut out our dinosaur's head. It's sort of a swirled shape right there. And you want to draw a little face on your dinosaur as well. We are also going to need a tail for our dinosaur. And this one sort of curves up. I gave my dinosaur a pointy tail. And then you're going to need 2 feet for your dinosaur. And these are sort of like a rectangle shape there. Now, once you have all these pieces, you're going to want to use some tape, and we're going to put them on to our paper plate. And yours might be decorated. This is my sample one, so it's a little bit plain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my dino head at one side of the paper plate, and now on this side I'm going to use my tape to hold it in place. And I'm actually running a little low on my regular tape, so I'm using some masking tape today, which is very sturdy, so this will definitely hold my dinosaur right in place. And I'm going to do the same thing with the tail. It's going to go on the opposite side of the dinosaur's head. Of course, because the tail goes on the back, right? Now, the good thing about these paper plate dinos is that they're pretty fun, but they are definitely not going to snore loudly like all of those dinosaurs in Dino Snores. Now, last but not least, I need to put my feet on, and I'm going to put those on the bottom of the paper plate. And just like before, I am just going to tape those right onto the back. Make sure this dinosaur can walk and stomp all around. All right, I have 1 foot in the back. And I need 1 more foot to make 2. And we'll put 1 foot right in the front. So this is what it looks like from the back. Ta-da! And there is your paper plate dinosaur. Now I have 2, so they can be friends. I think these are both herbivores, so they won't have any conflicts or troubles like Juliet Rex and Romeosaurus did. Well, thank you so much for joining me and my little dinosaur friends for some excellent stories and songs and for our craft today as well. I had a great time with you, and I hope that I will see you again for next week's story time. See you later!